We begin our story this evening in the Stone Tooth. Everyone has rested, everyone has prepared for their travel, and there is one last meeting before everyone goes their separate ways. And
Is
that
this
is
the next day, real quick?
This is the next day, yes.
Okay, then Dell has a level of exhaustion.
Yes. That is a thing that we
yeah.
didn't talk about in our recap. Is Dell has spent the last 24 hours consecrating the temple in the Stone Tooth, the place where Durgadin's body still rests, and consecrating it, which is a 24-hour ritual.
Yeah, that's with a scroll for the sake of those people keeping track about my spell slots.
Fair enough. And then, so we have one last sort of meeting, and Dell does not get any interference. Like, at first, a lot of the dwarves were sort of looking askance at you going into the temple, which has been sealed off since this place has been rediscovered. Yeah. But after seeing what you were doing, like, a lot of the dwarves sort of gather at the door for a little bit to watch what you're doing, see that you're being very respectful, and kind of back off and go about their duties. And yes, Dell will begin today with a level of exhaustion, and we will open with our final meeting with Sven and Barnabas before the main group takes off for the north. Dell knows the general location of the hut, as well as a few tips and tricks to sort of locate it once you've gotten in the right general vicinity. And Sven is going to begin by offering to probably Dell. I think Dell is the only one that can cast the Legend Lore spell off a scroll. So
I don't know what I think.
Legend Lore is a cleric spell or a wizard spell. It is not a sorcerer spell.
Yeah, but I think it's like one of those visual things. So yeah, probably. It is a wizard spell, but I don't know if it has the if you're casting it from the scroll.
Oh, that's true. It is a wizard spell, so Charlotte would work out as well. Okay, that's right. That's true.
But
okay.
It's still like, is it a braille scroll?
She's figured out, she has a system for how to cast from scrolls, especially if it's a ritual. So she can make it work even if it's not like with runes that she can feel with her fingers.
Then I'd say let Charlotte do it.
So Sven will approach with Barnabas alongside, and he will say, I had planned on remaining here and feeding you information as you needed it. You'd be able to contact me, and I'd be able to look things up. But apparently I'm going to Waterdeep. So, and he looks over at Barnabas, and Barnabas nods at him. So apparently I'm going to Waterdeep. Barnabas thinks I need to get a little bit more adventuring under my belt for some reason, so that maybe I could understand you all a little bit better, I suppose. I'm still not sure it's the best idea, but as His Majesty commands, yes? So what I'd like to do instead is I've got this extra sort of cash here, and he hands over to Charlotte a scroll case. And within the scroll case are 4 scrolls of legend lore.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
And 1 scroll of teleportation circle.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and drop those items right now.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I'm dropping the legend lore spell or scroll into chat. Just go ahead and when you put it into your inventory, just scroll it up to 5 or 4, I mean.
Yeah, 4 of those.
And then scroll of teleportation circle as well. Although it currently just says expensive scroll. 1 second.
Oh.
Boom.
It's an expensive scroll, though. That's correct.
It is expensive. That is true.
That is, yeah.
But before you leave, if there are any questions that you would like me to ask now, before you begin, this would be a good time. I don't plan on leaving for another day, so I have the spell prepared, and I can cast it for you once or twice before you go, if you need any information going in. It's up to you. Baba Yaga is I've been doing a little bit of studying. She's very tricky. She's very powerful, and you all are going to need to be very much on your guard.
I wouldn't mind more information if you've got the spell energy to spare.
I do. Is there anything in particular you're looking for about her?
I guess at this point, how she reacts to unexpected guests would be the most useful thing. How to be
Badly.
polite, like what manners she expects. Got anything in that ballpark?
Well, I can give you some of that information without having to cast. I know that the Baba Yaga, when she is in the right mood, can be reasoned with, though flattery is always useful. She also appreciates being called grandmother. Do not call her mother, not unless you are one of her children. But grandmother is an acceptable honorific for her. She actually enjoys being called that. She considers herself the grandmother to essentially all creation.
Grandmother loves flattery.
That just sounds like my grandmother at this point.